So on my CV there's a 2 year gap, and उसके बाद internship का उसमें आता है CV में. I actually really boasted about that experience, to be honest. It was one of the things that I counted as one of the achievements that I had in my life, being able to spend those 3 years getting a lot of knowledge, getting a lot of emotional maturity and strength, and then the thing that I was saying in the beginning, really culling out what transferable skills that experience gave me. And so at no point in the process did I ever try to hide that time or even try to sort of lowball that time. I have always played it up. एंड जैसे मैं काफ़ी लोग को मैं बोलता हूँ फ्रंट फुट पे ही खेला है. आई हैव प्लेड ऑन द फ्रंट फुट कि यार एकदम सॉलिड एक्सपीरियंस था. इट हैज़ रियली टॉट मी अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट आई डू राइट नाउ. It has given me that sort of clarity of what I want to do in my life. And वो इतना सब कुछ, people take decades to get that sort of realization. And so that was, I think, a 2 year crash course into really knowing myself. Uh, that's what I did. And so I played it up in my application. I've really played it up in my interview also. Not to play it up as a sort of badge without examples, right? So there were a lot of small nuances that I was able to bring out in my application कि यार ऐसा हुआ, ये एक instance बताता हूँ कि ऐसा हुआ. This is how exactly वो जो सीखा था I'm utilizing in my finance job, I'm now using in my social impact job. And so a lot of those things actually I brought out. At no point again matlab, did I feel it was a break. And it is a very common thing outside of India. Almost everybody who applies has a break. Some people have a break for sort of traveling the world. Some people just have a break for chilling. Some people will want to work on a farm. They'll go to their sort of family business to try something out. So almost everybody will have some or the other break, but nobody will call it a break. They will call it a journey, an experience, or something. And so I think as an Indian applicant, we tend to see only our sort of pool of people, and their terminology of what we are doing is basically a break on the CV. I would say that forget this vocabulary. Nobody outside of India cares कि तुम्हारे CV में कितना gap है, because ultimately you're going to have a 40-year career. एक दो साल nobody cares about. Even 5 years I think nobody cares about. If you're able to really tell what you did and what you learned, and so forth. बिल्कुल भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. As an example बताता हूँ तो in my finance job, one of the senior sort of advisors in the firm was a sort of finance expert in a few domains. उसका qualification से he was PhD in music. So he had spent some 8 years after undergrad studying music, doing a doctorate in it, becoming a very specialized person studying music, and then he transitioned into finance. And then we become a leader in finance. अब उसके CV पे अगर देखो relevant work ex देखो तो यार there's a 8 year gap. There is doing something which is totally unrelated, wouldn't sort of naturally help his job. But if you're able to sort of cull out the transferable skills, the sort of experiences, other things that you would have learned in that journey, I'm sure it helps in sort of in the finance job as well. Right? So बहुत ही common है of people sort of doing very different things or not doing anything for that matter. For a few years, it's absolutely fine. Nobody cares. Unless we get defensive, nobody will ask us. Basically, that's the crux of it.
Great. Thank you, Aditya. It was an excellent session. I learned a lot myself, especially that bit about playing on the front foot always. I loved that play that you used there. And I'll use that to tell all the other ex-aspirants who ask me now, what do they do about those 3 years? So maybe just painting it differently, even in your own head, will help your mental health, I suppose. And
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
better. Yeah.
Most of it is in the head. हम बस सोचते रहते हैं. They are solvable through just the right use of vocabulary. I think. It is not a break; it is a learning journey. It is. We don't have to be defensive front foot पे खेलना है. Just changing the vocabulary, I think, changes the game.